Hello and welcome to Very Hard Questions, the quiz contest that unsurprisingly asks the very hardest questions on television. I often ask myself very hard questions like, why is abbreviated quite such a long word? We've assembled some of the very brightest brains in Britain to do battle in the very hardest of quizzing competitions. The more points our teams can score, the greater their chance of winning a place in the grand final, where the victors will walk away with a £5,000 prize and this magnificent trophy and the crown of Very Hard Questions series champion. Playing today are Mark, Mike and Dom. They are Einsteins. And their opponents are Mohan, Matt and Louise, also known as the Kumars at number 15. We tossed a coin backstage and Einsteins, you will go first. Welcome. With a team name like that, I'm guessing you're all exceptionally clever.
I think that the team name came about because we enjoy some beers as well as enjoying our questions.
Do you need beers in order to enjoy the questions?
They certainly help.
And what about you, Dom? What do you do in your job?
I work as a consultant in entertainment and media.
Excellent. And Mike?
I'm an analyst in a financial company, which mainly involves looking at numbers all day. But...
Great. And Mark?
I draw local government boundaries.
With a pencil?
With a computer.
Oh, excellent. Now, time to meet your opponents. Welcome to the show, the Kumars at number 15. What a great team name. Where does it come from?
To put it simply, we are the Kumars who live at number 15, John.
Yeah.
Literally, all three of you?
All three of us.
Matthew, I'm told you put the team together. Why did you pick Mum and Dad?
Well, I think one of our favourite things to do is watch quizzes when we're watching TV. So I think as a team, we kind of combine quite well together.
Well, lovely to meet you all. OK, teams, let's play Very Hard Questions. In round one, each team will answer 4 very hard questions. But to help you have 7 clues to use across the round. First letter gives you the first letter of the first word of the answer. Picture clue offers up a visual cryptic clue. Extra fact gives you more information about the answer. Definition is a dictionary-style description of the answer. Add words inserts more information into the question itself. Different question shows you another question with the same answer. And related words, which are 3 words, all connected to the answer. But every time a clue is used, it will cost you a point and you won't be able to use it again in that round. So use them wisely and make sure you don't end up completely clueless. Einsteins, let's have a look at your first very hard question. The name of which city features in a term sometimes used to describe the inverse of Stockholm Syndrome, following a 1996 hostage situation in a Japanese embassy?
Well, what do you think?
As soon as I saw the question, Lima came up in my mind, and I would say
I'm pretty sure it's Lima
I was
as well.
close to 100% certain. It's
worth 4
the
points.
Japanese embassy, there are Japanese links to Peru with Fujimori.
There is, isn't there? Yeah,
yeah,
president. He's president.
So we'll go for Lima, thank you, John.
Right, great confidence there. For 4 points, let's see if Lima is the correct answer. Lima it is. The phenomenon is named after a hostage situation in the Japanese embassy in Lima, in which the captors began empathising with their hostages and even released them. 4 points there for you, an incredible start. The Kumars at number 15. Let's have a look at your first very hard question. Often referred to as a fairy tale castle, Neuschwanstein Castle was commissioned by a European king in homage to whom?
All I know about the castle is it's in Germany, and it was the inspiration for the castle at Disney World. But I wouldn't know.
So Magic Kingdom Castle.
Yeah, but we'll have to get a clue to see who it's in homage to. Which clue?
So what do you think is going to help us best,
Which
then?
clue would help us?
It's worth 4 points to you if you can answer without any...
So get the different question.
Different question.
Different question, please, John.
A different question. The Bayreuth Festival Theatre in Germany was built to stage operas written by who?
So that narrows it down to suggest it's the German composer.
Horses.
So shall we get first letter? Get the
Would
point.
that be useful?
Will it be useful to you?
This is for 3 points, and if you use another clue, you lose another point.
Can we get the first letter, please, John?
First letter, R.
Oh, first name begins with R. We might not be German. Can we just think of a composer? Oh,
Well, like
Richard
Strauss.
Strauss.
Wagner.
Oh, Richard Wagner.
Yeah, we forgot about him,
Wagner.
didn't we? Shall we go for it?
This is for 2 points.
Can we go for Richard Wagner, please?
For 2 points, let's see if Richard Wagner is the correct answer. Richard Wagner, well done. King Ludwig II of Bavaria was a keen patron of composer Richard Wagner, and the castle was particularly inspired by the Swan Knight in the Wagner opera Lohengrin. That is the correct answer, and you scored 2 points. Einsteins, have a look at your second very hard question. The film Brazzaville, which was announced by Warner Brothers but never produced, was intended as a sequel to which Oscar-winning drama?
I think this might be The African Queen, but...
Oh, sure. It makes sense because
Were you thinking of something else?
I was, yeah.
What were you thinking?
But poorly. I was thinking of Casablanca.
Yeah, no, that might be a good shout.
Well, how about...
Brazzaville, capital of Republic of Congo.
I think different question.
Different question then.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's try
We would like to go for different question, please.
OK, different question. A piano that appears in which film was sold at auction for $3.4 million in 2014?
It'd be pretty disappointing if it wasn't Casablanca.
It's really leading
That is
us
a
towards-
lot
Yeah.
of money.
How sure were we? 95?
I
is
think
worth
there
3
is
points.
enough corroborating evidence there, isn't there?
Should we go for it?
Let's go for it.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
Okay.
OK, we'll go for Casablanca, please, John.
For 3 points, let's see if Casablanca is the correct answer. Casablanca. At the end of Casablanca, Louis tells Rick there is a free French garrison at Brazzaville, capital city of what is now the Republic of the Congo, to which they could go. The sequel was intended to follow Rick and Louis there. Well played, scores you 3 points. The Kumars at number 15. Let's have a look at your second very hard question. Referring to what players on horseback have to get into a goal area in order to score points, the name of the sport, buzkashi, is partly derived from the Persian word for what?
I seem to recollect a Michael Palin documentary where it's to do with pushing a sheep carcass,
Is it a sheep?
Oh.
Oh, God, I was thinking an animal.
an animal
The
carcass
only-
into the goal area.
I had a feeling goat was what came to my head, but you might be sheep.
I'm not 100% sure if it's sheep
Okay.
or goat, but it's in the same area, in the same region.
Yeah, so we've got
4 points for this if you don't have to go for a clue.
So
So
do we
what
decide
clue would
what?
get it?
Related words.
Yeah.
That might help.
Go. Can we have related words, please?
Related words. Pan, chèvre, beard.
Goat.
Okay, why?
Because the god Pan
Pan, not a goat.
has
Okay.
got goat hooves
Yeah.
and the beard,
So-
which is a bearded goat.
I think
Go
it's
for goat.
Can we go for goat, please?
For 3 points, let's see if goat is the correct answer. Goat. Well done. Congratulations. The Greek god Pan is generally depicted as part of a goat. Chèvre is a variety of goat's milk cheese. Beard, a goatee beard, is a small, pointed beard, so named because it resembles that of a, surprisingly, goat. Well done. 3 points. We are at the halfway point of round one, so let's take a look at the scores. Einsteins are in the lead with 7 points, and the Kumars at number 15 have 5 points. It's time for a short break, but when we return, our teams will face some more very hard questions. How will they get on? Stay with us to find out. Welcome back to Very Hard Questions, where today's teams have been getting to grips with a tricky batch of questions. Einsteins, let's have a look at your third very hard question. In an account given by Skeffington Luttridge, who stalked a polar bear across an Arctic ice sheet to take the skin back to their father?
What do we think? would
Okay,
be a
well,
good-
possibilities. Eric the Red, Nanak the
Yeah.
North, maybe?
Who has a famous father?
Yeah.
Do you think an extra fact would help here?
I want to go away from that original question.
I think something
Related
like,
words.
yeah, related words.
Should we go related words?
Could work. Yeah.
OK, John. We'll go for related words, please.
Related words. Spirits, Emma, Vanguard.
Vanguard was a ship.
Yeah,
Um,
I
whose?
couldn't tell you whose ship it was.
I was thinking it might be for Haerdrels when he was...
Oh,
But-
yeah.
but it doesn't really fit.
Yeah, that doesn't really fit. I think we need another one.
We
don't
definitely do need another one. I don't know
Yeah.
what's it's going to be.
An
Extra
extra
point.
fact.
3
Extra
points at the moment.
Extra fact.
Extra
yeah.
fact. Yeah.
Fine.
Can we go for extra fact, please, John?
Extra fact. This person was 14 years old when this pursuit of a bear is said to have taken place in 1773.
Horatio Nelson.
But did he ever go? Did he go to the Arctic?
I mean, not that I remember, but he did a lot, didn't he, before he got going in Aboukir Bay in Copenhagen?
Should we go for first letter or definition? What do you fancy?
I think we should try first letter.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go for first letter, please, John.
It'll cost you a point. First letter is H.
Yeah,
For
yeah, but
Horatio Nelson,
Horatio
don't we?
Nelson.
we'll have to go for Horatio Nelson, please.
For 1 point, let's see if Horatio Nelson is the correct answer. Horatio Nelson. Let me just take you through the related words that I gave you. Spirits. Nelson's body was preserved in a barrel of spirits whilst being transported back to London. Emma Hamilton and Nelson considered each other soulmates despite both being married to other people. Vanguard. HMS Vanguard was the ship Nelson was aboard during the victorious Battle of the Nile. Well done. It scores you 1 point. The Kumars at number 15. Have a look at your third very hard question. The artist, known by the pseudonym Au Galop, created the mascot of which company when he was about 30 years of age?
So,
No.
no, but what companies can we think of that has a mascot? McDonald's has Ronald McDonald.
Ronald McDonald.
Would you create? I think we'll definitely need a clue. But
Do you know which artist has a pseudonym?
No, I haven't heard of the artist.
So we're looking at companies which created a mascot.
Yes, I think
Have
maybe
a
the
mascot, picture
Yeah.
for a mascot.
Can we have the
But
picture
it'll
clue,
be-
please?
Picture clue then.
Oh,
There
is an M.
Yeah.
So do we think
mean-
it?
it could be McDonald's. The Golden Arch.
Yeah.
The Ronald
but
McDonald.
how-
The
But
mascot
how's
would be
that
Ronald McDonald.
Really associated.
It's a cryptic clue, and there is an M which looks
Do we need another
very similar
I
to
think
the
we need
McDonald's.
another
to
one.
check? Probably save for to get a clue. Extra fact, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Can we have the extra fact, please?
Extra fact. The official name of the mascot is taken from a quote by the Roman poet Horace.
Do you know the Roman poet Horace?
Quote
So
from
in-
the Roman quote Horace. I'm struggling to find some reference to Horace. Do you want to use a clue?
I think it's better just to
Just
probably
give
have a
some
guess.
random
On.
answer.
I mean, the term mascot seems to suggest it's the Ronald McDonald, but what about the Golden Arch? Because I still see the M, but maybe I talked myself into it.
Yeah.
Just give it as an answer.
Ronald
then.
McDonald.
Just
We'll go for Ronald
McDonald.
McDonald.
For 2 points, let's see if Ronald McDonald is the right answer. Incorrect, I'm afraid. The correct answer was Michelin. This is a picture of the exterior of Michelin House in Chelsea, which was formerly Michelin's UK headquarters and is now a restaurant.
Oh.
Bad luck, Kumars. No points there. Einsteins, let's have a look at your final, very hard question of this round. Following the release of their 2001 album that included a single called The Trees, which band went on a tour in association with the Forestry Commission and played at venues such as Sherwood Pines Forest Park?
Mark, do you think this is pulp?
I think it is, yes.
So in 2001, I think they released the album We Love Life.
Yeah.
It's definitely a song
It's
with
got
the trees on
the
it.
cover.
Oh, is it?
I'm
I
pretty-
think that is the sort of thing pulp would do.
Yeah.
It's.
Yes.
I'm pretty
Is
sure
it-
that's when We
is
Love
it-
Life
yeah.
came out.
Yeah. And you say the trees was on it.
Yeah, the trees was on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
Do we gamble?
I think we should.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you know enough. We'll go for pulp, please.
So for 4 points, for the second time in the show, let's see if pulp is the correct answer. Pulp it is. Your second 4-pointer in this game so far. Are you pulp fans? I mean,
Love pulp.
I am, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
no, well, then, of course, that does help. Brilliant. Kumar's at number 15. You've got some catching up to do, I'm afraid. I do. Let's look at your final, very hard question of this round. Which actor co-wrote a paper titled A Simple Method to Demonstrate the Enzymatic Production of Hydrogen from Sugar, published in the Journal of Chemical Education while she was still at school?
An actress who's done some science. Do you know?
I don't know, for some reason, Jodie Foster came to my mind, but it was completely random.
Okay. But I think we'll need a clue. Well, the definition would...
The fact that it's
of the answer, we might know something else about the answer.
about the answer.
So shall we go for definition?
Okay.
Okay.
Can we have definition, please?
Definition. Actor born in Jerusalem in 1981 who had her first film role in 1994.
Yes.
So Natalie Portman, because she was born...
She was born in Jerusalem.
Jerusalem. She went to
Yeah,
Harvard.
just go for it.
Yeah, and the first film role was in Leon.
I'm not sure, but I definitely know she went to Harvard and she was born in Israel. So.
Yeah,
And the
that's-
year 1981.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right into
fits
it.
in.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing her. I don't know if it's Leon, which is the first film. She
Okay,
played a
but-
child, 12-year-old in that.
Yeah, go on.
Can we go for Natalie Portman, please?
For 3 points, let's see if Natalie Portman is the correct answer. Natalie Portman it is. Her high school paper was published in 1998, 4 years after she played the 12-year-old assassin's protege in Leon. Very impressive. That gives you 3 points. Excellent. We are at the end of round 1, so let's take a look at the scores. Einsteins are in the lead with 12 points, and the Kumars at number 15 have 8 points. Einsteins rather impressively scored their second 4-pointer of the show and hold the lead over the Kumars. Can they catch up in round 2? Join me after the break to find out. Welcome back to Very Hard Questions, where our teams have been taking on a challenging set of quiz questions. Let's get straight on then with round 2. Now, in this round, you'll tackle your own board of 3 questions. But first, you must choose in which order to answer them. But be warned, answer a question incorrectly, and your round is instantly over, and any points scored in that round will be lost. You now only have 5 clues to use across the 3 questions. And remember, the more clues you use, the more points you lose. Let's have a look at your clues. Different question and extra fact, both of which you have already seen. Multiple choice, you'll see 4 possible answer options, but only 1 is correct. Audio clue, you'll be played an oral hint to the answer. Redacted text, you'll see a sentence containing the answer, but the key information has been censored. Einsteins, here's your board of 3 questions. Which footballer who was voted England's greatest left foot in a 2016 Times poll was signed from Sudbury Court in 1981 for the transfer fee of a new set of kits? Question 2. The name of which currency originates from a Bohemian silver mine in what is now the Czech Republic that first began providing silver for coins in the 16th century? Question 3. The television programme La Chica de Aya is a Spanish-language remake of which television series that first aired on the BBC in 2006? Einsteins, which question would you like to tackle first?
I'm 95% certain that number 1 is John Barnes.
We'll go for number 1, please.
Right. Which footballer who was voted England's greatest left foot in a 2016 Times poll was signed from Sudbury Court in 1981 for the transfer fee of a new set of kits?
I'm wondering if audio would be anything.
It could be
New
World
Order
in
related. Anything New Order that would give
It's
us.
up to you. I mean, it's up to you. If you're happy, and you've
I'd
got that.
rather
It's
take
0
a
points.
Then
for
that's,
all.
then that's
yeah,
totally fine.
Because we lose everything, I'd rather take
Yeah,
a clue,
okay,
and
yeah,
I think audio clue would...
We would like audio clue, please, John.
Right, audio clue.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got the side. Well,
One of my favourite songs of all time. The Anfield Rap.
Oh, so it doesn't seem to have helped.
Yes,
Well,
Well, that was the Anfield Rap
that's
by
most
Liverpool
definitely-
FC, so...
yeah.
I think
We'll go for John Barnes, please.
If you answer this incorrectly, of course, your round is over. OK, for 3 points then, let's see if John Barnes is the correct answer. John Barnes it is.
Right.
Okay, we need this.
Which question would you like to tackle next?
Can we take question 3, please, John?
OK, the television programme La Chica de Aya is a Spanish-language remake of which television series that first aired on the BBC in 2006?
My first thought was Gavin and Stacey, but there's no real reasoning behind that other than the year.
Let's try
Well-
a different question, I think, at this stage.
Yeah.
Different question? OK, can we take different question, please?
Different question. Sam Tyler is the principal character in which 2006 police drama?
No, well,
It's-
so
Yeah.
so Sam Tyler's definitely the principal character in Life on Mars, but
Yes.
he's also the
Is he
principal
in
character in
Ashes to
Ashes to Ashes, I
He's
think.
in it.
I think La Chica de Air translates as the girl from yesterday.
And does that make
And-
it Keely Hawes?
Well, Ashes to Ashes had a more prominent female character in Keely Hawes, so I think we might have to take another one because I don't think I can be confident enough on the year
Yeah.
which one was which.
If you go now, you've got 3 points.
Well, I think if we go multiple choice and Ashes to
Multiple
Ashes
choice,
is
it
there,
should-
then we just
yeah.
shouldn't go for it.
Yeah,
first.
Take another
Yeah.
clue and you'll lose a point.
Can we take multiple choice, please?
Multiple choice. Call the Midwife, State of Play, Life on Mars, Spooks.
Yes,
We had to do it.
Yeah, no, it's... we'll take Life on Mars, please, John.
Need I remind you that if this is wrong, then you lose the 3 points that you've already scored. Let's see if Life on Mars is the correct answer. Life on Mars it is. Well, La Chica de Air translates as Yesterday's Girl in English, and the series is set in the past. Let's take a look at your final question then. The question is the name of which currency originates from a Bohemian silver mine in what is now the Czech Republic that first began providing silver for coins in the 16th century?
So I don't think this
Well,
would be as
the
obvious.
obvious guess is the Czech currency. which
Koruna, but
is
that means crown.
Koruna.
So
Yeah.
I was having a think about it, and I just wondered about the Polish currency.
Zloty.
I don't even
Clue.
think that it could even come from Bohemia. Well, it'd be in Bohemia, but yeah.
Yeah, of course, it could
Yeah,
be.
it
It could be absolutely anything.
I feel like extra fact to give us a little
Yeah,
bit.
we'll just have to try
Yeah.
these clues. I don't really strongly favour one in
No.
favour.
We'd like extra fact, please.
Extra fact. The name of this currency is used by over 20 different countries.
So dollar,
Mark?
peso.
I wonder if, when they say name of the currency, it could be variations on it. Is there enough that use variations on Koruna, Krona?
This is worth 3 points.
I think we'll
So
probably
it's got to be
have to
redacted
take
text.
the other. And
Yeah.
if we're no closer, we.
I think
Answer
so,
incorrectly, you
yeah.
lose the lot.
We'd like to take redacted text.
Redacted text. After hitting a record high yesterday, the black market, or blue, blank, in Argentina, hit another high on Thursday. Financial Times.
Can really easily be the dollar. That's what they're using when they had sort of 40% inflation, which is around
Yeah,
about
because
now.
I mean, the Argentinian currency is the peso, isn't it? But
It's very tempting to go for
Well,
the
it's
dollar.
not going to be dinar, is
It's
it?
about 20 countries that have it.
2 points up for grabs on this one.
Should we go for it? We are going to go for dollar.
OK, well, if you get this right, you're in for 2 points. But if you get it wrong, you've lost the lot. Let's see if dollar is the correct answer. Dollar! Congratulations, that's correct, and it scores you 2 more points and gives you 7 points for the whole round. OK, Kuma's at number 15. You've seen how it's done. Here's your board of 3 questions. Number 1, which artist set a record when she won her 4th Brit Award for Best International Female Solo Artist in 2016? Question 2, according to the life and exploits of Alexander the Great by E.A. Wallace Budge, what substance was poured over Alexander's body after it had been placed in a golden coffin and anointed with aloes? Question 3, in which play by Aristophanes does the character Pisateros help create a new city suspended between heaven and earth? Which one would you like to tackle first?
Do you know any of
We're
them?
most likely to get number one. One of the best.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, can we go for number one, please?
OK. So question 1 is the one you want to look at. Which artist set a record when she won her 4th Brit Award for Best International Female Solo Artist in 2016?
We need a clue.
We need a
don't we?
clue. I mean,
Have you got a
Beyonce
short list?
would be if I was
Beyonce.
guessing with like risking it, but that's just because I think Lemonade might have come out
So we need a clue. What clue do you think we need?
the audio because I don't think it will be as much use for the other two. Can we use the audio clue, please?
Right, audio clue.
Do you recognise the song?
No.
No, I don't.
Has it not clarified matters?
No.
Not particularly. I think we definitely would need another clue
Different question.
about that.
No, we don't know. This,
Okay.
then we'll
Yeah.
have to just...
Can we go for a different question?
Different
please?
question. Which singer received exposure in their home country at the age of 11 with a cover of the Tina Charles song, I Love to Love?
Could it be Rihanna?
Well, I don't know the answer to any
The home
of this.
country at the age of 11 and the Tina Charles song, I Love to Love, suggest it could be Rihanna. But
Get this wrong, and
certain.
of course,
Then
this
yeah.
round is
That's it.
over for you with Nout.
One more clue. Can we have redacted text, please?
Redacted text. Blank wore the best dress ever to the Oscars, ever. She wore a swan. Margaret Cho.
Who's that?
Bjork.
Bjork.
We have to because we won't know.
Can we go for Bjork, please?
For 1 point, let's see if Bjork is the correct answer. If it's wrong, that's Wipeout. Bjork!
Thank God for this one.
The song you heard was Isabel by Bjork from the album Post. It scores you 1 expensive point. So which question would you like to tackle next?
Can we have question 2, please?
Question 2. According to the life and exploits of Alexander the Great by E.A. Wallace, Budge, what substance was poured over Alexander's body after it had been placed in a golden coffin and anointed with aloes?
So what was your...
What's your initial thought?
For some reason, I was thinking about honey
Okay.
because it preserves, because it doesn't spoil.
So do you want to go for multiple
and
choice?
see if it's
and
still
see
there.
if it's...
You want to go for
Multiple
multiple choice?
Can we have multiple choice, please?
Multiple choice. Wine, lard, honey, vinegar.
Well, my first instinct was honey.
And
Let's
it,
just
the fact that you
risk
it.
salt
And
it and it's still there,
Would you want
I
to
think
go
at
for
this
honey?
point we
Yeah.
have to. Can we go for honey, please?
For 3 points, then, let's see if honey is the correct answer. Honey bunny. Well done. Yep. Excellent. The honey was to preserve his body for public display. And it scores you 3 points. Here's your final question. In which play by Aristophanes does the character Pisotirius help create a new city suspended between heaven and earth?
Did you say you thought you might have known it?
I would recognize the name of the play.
I'm the bearer of bad news. We've got 1 clue left.
Yeah, I know.
definitely
We've just got to go for
We
extra
have
fact.
to. We need. We don't know it now.
Let's just go for the extra.
Can we have the extra fact, please?
Right. Extra fact. The Greek title of the play is Ornithes.
I don't think we're gonna.
Ornithes suggests something to do with ornithology. Is
Well, it sounds
Study
like
of
that, but
birds.
do you actually know? 'Cause I don't-
Did
go on.
Aristophanes do a bird? Did he?
the ornithes.
Just called birds.
You've scored 4 points so far in this round. You've got
What do
3
we do?
in
Do
play
we
here.
risk it or do we not?
Birds does sound familiar with Aristophanes.
Aristophanes, and it's ornithes.
Let's risk it.
You want to live dangerously?
Yeah.
Birds
And we'll
by
do it.
Aristophanes.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
Can we go for birds, please?
If you answer incorrectly, you lose the 4 points you've already got, and you don't get these 3 points. Is birds the correct answer? Birds! Well done, well done, well done. This play is the origin of the phrase cloud cuckoo land to describe a fanciful or ideal land. The Kumars at number 15, you scored 7 points out of a possible 12. But that's the end of round 2, so let's see what that's done to the scores. Einsteins are still in the lead with 19 points, and the Kumars at number 15 naturally have 15 points. Coming up, more very hard questions, but now they will be against the clock. Can our teams keep their cool under pressure? Join me after the break to find out. Welcome back to Very Hard Questions, where our teams are competing for the points they need to secure a top 2 spot on the leaderboard. Remember, only the 2 highest scoring teams from across the entire series will make it through to the grand final, where £5,000 and the series champion crown will be up for grabs. In round 3, each team will face 5 very hard questions, but now every one of them will be against the clock. Give a wrong answer or run out of time, and you score nothing at all. If everyone is ready, let's play round 3. Einstein, here's your first very hard question against the clock. Fulang Chang and I is a self-portrait of which artist with a pet spider monkey?
So I immediately thought Frida Kahlo.
Yeah,
but...
she did paint a lot of self-portraits with animals, but
Yeah.
do we want
sort of picture that spider monkey.
Yeah.
do we want to risk it, or should we take the first letter to get
First
the 3
letter would-
points?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let's
We
do
take
that.
first letter, please.
First letter. F
Fine.
We'll go for Frida Kahlo, please.
for 3 points. See if Frida Kahlo is the correct answer. Frida Kahlo. Excellent. What a rounded team you are. It scores you 3 points. The Kumars at number 15. Here's your first very hard question against the clock. Which savoury dish gets its name from a French ambassador in London who had achieved fame as the writer of the religious treatise Génie du Christianisme?
Do we know?
Do you know
What
one?
clue shall we?
Come on, we've only got so long. We need
Different
to...
question.
Can we get a different question, please?
Different question. Which dish, invented by the chef Montmirail, can be prepared by cooking a thick cut of meat between 2 less expensive cuts that are discarded before serving?
Can we have add words, please?
Add words. Steak.
Which savoury steak dish?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Carpetbag steak.
Well, now, for 2 points, is carpetbag steak the correct answer? Bad luck, the Kumars at number 15. That is incorrect. I can reveal that the correct answer is Chateaubriand. The dish is named after the ambassador François-René Vicomte de Chateaubriand, whose chef is said to have first served it. I'm very sorry, Kumars, no points there. Einsteins, here's your second very hard question against the clock. What specifically was a Semper Augustus, which for a time was particularly rare and valuable?
I wouldn't even know where to start with this
Okay,
one, so
so,
I think we probably need a fact straight away. Do you think a
yeah,
picture
extra-
clue might help?
Yeah.
It could be, yeah.
Extra fact? Yeah.
Come on then, quickly.
Yeah. Can I take extra fact, please?
Extra fact it is. The Semper Augustus was created as a result of being infected by a virus and was depicted in several Dutch masterpieces.
Picture then? Yeah.
Picture clue, please.
Picture clue then.
That's a pregnant woman.
Yeah.
I'd say...
Add words, please.
Add words. In 17th century Holland.
Can we go with tulip, please? John?
For 1 point, is tulip the correct answer? Tulip it is. That's a picture of Labour MP Tulip Siddiq. Well done, Einsteins. Gets you 1 point. The Kumars at number 15. Here's your second very hard question against the clock. Which filmmaker made their professional stage debut in October 1931 at the Gate Theatre in Dublin after falsely claiming to be a star in their home country?
No.
Yeah.
Come on.
1931 could
You
be
don't
Orson
know
Welles.
it.
Let's get
a...
different question.
Different question, please.
Different question. In 1942, who received Oscar nominations in performance, writing and directing categories for the same film?
Orson Welles.
Are you confident?
No.
Do you
First
think
letter.
First
1942 we
letter.
received...
Can we get first letter, please?
First letter.
Right, go for
Oh.
it. Go for it.
We'll go for Orson Welles.
For 2 points, is Orson Welles the correct answer? Orson Welles it is. Well done. Well done. Congratulations. 16-year-old Orson Welles was there because he had used some inheritance money to take a painting trip around Ireland on a donkey cart, and it has scored you 2 points. Einsteins, here's your third very hard question against the clock. Written as part of a project which aims to reimagine Shakespeare works for a modern audience, the 2016 novel Hag Seed is a retelling of which of his plays?
That would work, isn't it? Margaret Atwood.
Yeah, which one is it?
Different question might help.
Yeah, I think a different
It's one of the
question would
biggies.
help.
Different question, please.
Different question. The 1991 Peter Greenaway feature film starring John Gielgud was based on which Shakespeare play?
Peter Greenaway did a film called Prospero's Books. That's clearly based on Tempest. I can quite imagine Hagseed was based on Tempest because
Yep.
that's Caliban.
OK. We'll go for The Tempest, please, John.
for 3 points. Is The Tempest the correct answer? It is. Congratulations, Einsteins. The character Caliban is referred to as Hagseed in the play because his mother was a witch. It scored you 3 points. Kumar's at number 15. Here is your third very hard question against the clock. Which chemical element was first discovered accidentally by Hennig Brand while he was attempting to create gold by boiling human urine?
Yes.
Do you know it?
Boiling human urine would give you
First letter.
ammonia.
Let's go first letter, shall we?
Because that might help.
Should we go first letter?
Can we have first letter, please?
First letter is P.
Phosphorus,
Potassium,
potassium.
phosphorus. Just go for...
Should we go
No,
for
it
a
won't be
related
plutonium.
word, or are we
Phosphorus
just
or
going for
potassium.
Which one?
quick one?
Definition.
A definition, please.
Definition. Solid, non-metallic element of the nitrogen family.
Come on, we've
I don't know, but you know, what would you guess?
Related words.
Related words, please.
Related words. Glow, 15. Bones,
We'll go for phosphorus.
phosphorus. But you could have gone for it before. Doctor, have the courage of your conviction. For 1 point, is phosphorus the correct answer? It is. And Doctor, you had the answer. You could have got at least 1 more point.
We've
Have had
got.
one more.
We've
But
got.
3 points. You chose related words for your clue. Glow, the element, has the ability to glow in the dark. 15. 15 is the atomic number. Bones. Bones are made up primarily of calcium phosphate. Einsteins, here's your fourth very hard question against the clock. The invention of which cocktail is often credited to Philibert Guichet, the owner of Tujague's in New Orleans in the early 20th century?
I just don't know this.
That's different question.
Different question, I think, would help.
Different question, please.
Different question. A large gilded sculpture of which insect features on a weather vane on top of the Royal Exchange in London?
Okay.
We'll go for grasshopper, please.
For 3 points, is grasshopper the correct answer? It is. It is. Congratulations, Einstein. Grasshopper is the correct answer. The cocktail is a mixture of crème de cacao, crème de menthe, and French cream, and is a vivid green colour. And it scored you 3 points. Kumar's at number 15. I'm afraid you've got a bit of catching up to do, Kumar's, but this could be your moment. Here is your fourth very hard question against the clock. Published after a 2-decade hiatus, The Black Moon is the 5th book in a series of novels which provide the basis for which BAFTA award-winning TV series?
You know it.
The Black Moon, no.
If you don't know it, let's.
Or related words.
Can we go for related words, please?
Related words. Graham, mine, Nampara.
Does it help you?
Not going to help.
No, okay, then go for extra fact.
Extra fact, please.
Extra fact. Other novels in the series include The Stranger from the Sea and Warlegan.
Is
You know it.
Hold on. Oh, I thought he was dead.
Go for...
Go for it. Go for it. Just go for it.
AdWords.
Just go for it.
We'll go for Poldark.
Let's see for 2 points whether Poldark is the correct answer. Oh, well done. Well done indeed. That was the courage of conviction.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
You chose a related words clue. Graham, the novels are by Winston Graham. Mine, Ross Poldark, takes over the family mine, Wheel Leisure, when he returns from the American Revolutionary War. Nampara, Poldark's home in Cornwall, is Nampara. Well played. It scores you 2 points. Right. Einstein, here's your final, very hard question against the clock. Opened on the 9th of October 1970, Vêtements pour Hommes was part of the name of which fashion designer's first shop?
1970. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I think we
it's
need,
on the well. No.
we needed more information.
Yeah.
Fact.
Extra fact, please.
Extra fact. This designer received a knighthood in the year 2000.
Vivian Westwood.
Yeah,
No,
that's. I mean, that's
yeah.
possible. Or picture clue. Yeah, picture clue. Then yeah.
Picture clue, please.
'Cause it
Picture
could
clue.
What's that?
That's,
We might need more.
yeah. Add words, please.
Add words. Opened in Nottingham on the 9th of October 1970, Vêtements pour Hommes was part of the name of which fashion designer's first shop?
We'll go for Paul Smith.
For 1 point, is Paul Smith the correct answer? Paul Smith it is. This is a picture of Paul Smith's signature stripe design. I once had a jacket like that, but
It's a lot
I
like
lost the
your
will to live. Very, very well played, right, Einsteins? It scores you 1 point. The Kumars at number 15, here is your final, very hard question against the clock. In February 1818, who is thought to have become the first woman to be called to give evidence to a British Parliamentary Select Committee?
No.
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 Do you want to go for...
Extra fat.
Okay.
Extra fat, please.
Extra fact. Now part of the University of East Anglia, Earlham Hall was her childhood home.
Oh, do you know?
Ipswich, Norwich.
Do you know?
Do you know? No.
No.
Can we get related words, please?
Related words. Newgate, Godiva, Quaker.
We're going to have to just go for the pitch.
Picture clue, please.
Picture clue.
So some type of chef. I don't know.
Dewey Smith. No, I
No, it's 1818.
1818. We've got Norwich and whatever.
Go for Lady Godiva.
For 1 point, is Lady Godiva the correct answer? Oh dear, it wasn't her flying pan.
No.
The correct answer was Elizabeth Fry. The pan was frying.
The original.
Here are the related words. Newgate. Newgate Prison was where Elizabeth Fry made her observations of the poor conditions. Godiva, Lady Godiva, is rhyming slang for a fiver. And Fry used to appear on the reverse of the £5 note. Quaker, she was a Quaker. Well, I'm sorry about that, Kumars, but no points there. That's the end of round 3, so let's have a look at the scores. Einsteins are in the lead and have got 30 points. And the Kumars at number 15 have 20 points. Teams, you now have one last chance to win some all-important points. Let's play the very hardest question. Now, you'll play on your buzzers against each other, and only one team can walk away with the points. I will reveal a question. If you think you know the answer, buzz in. Answer correctly, and you win yourself 8 points. I will continue revealing clues until somebody answers the question correctly. But the points on offer will reduce each time a clue is revealed. Answer incorrectly, and your team will be locked out for the remainder of the clues. Fingers on buzzers, please. Here is the very hardest question. In a 2014 interview, sound designer Eric Ardal stated that the original sound made by which film character was created by sliding a leather glove coated in pine tar resin along a double bass string. 8 points hanging on this one.
Just go.
We'll go for Darth Vader.
You are saying Darth Vader? Let's see if that is the correct answer for 8 points. That's incorrect. I'm very sorry. You're locked out for the remainder of the clues. OK, Einsteins, your first clue is different question. Which fictional character was presented with a Lifetime Achievement Award by Patrick Stewart at the 1996 MTV Movie Awards?
Less like Jaws now.
Yeah.
No, I
so
think it's still...
Do you really?
Yeah.
Star
I think
Trek.
it still could be.
I would have thought Patrick Stewart would be doing something.
7
sci-fi.
points at stake.
Yeah.
Can you answer for 7 points?
No,
I
we'll
don't think we
take
can
more.
go for that.
Next up is an audio clue.
That's Deeper Underground by Jamiroquai. That was from Godzilla. That was from the movie Godzilla. Yeah.
Can anyone answer for 6 points?
Happy?
Yeah.
You go
Yeah.
for it.
We'll go for Godzilla, please.
So let's see if Godzilla is the correct answer for 6 points. Godzilla it is. Well, congratulations, Einsteins. That's the correct answer and scores you 6 points. And I mean, I must ask you, how on earth did you come up with Godzilla?
I remember the song, the video had Godzilla trouncing around, I think. It was in a cinema, Jamiroquai were running for cover, but thankfully it came through. We were thinking about Jaws, and that song helped us on our way.
That's a great memory and a fabulous performance. Many congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
And that's it. Here are the final scores. In second place, with a score of 20, we have the Kumars at number 15. But today's winners, with a score of 36, it's Einsteins. Now, you're all competing for a place in the series final, so let's see where those scores have put you on the leaderboard. That score of 36 points sends Einstein straight into the top spot. The Kumars' score of 20 isn't enough for a place in the top 2, so they can't qualify for the final. Well done, Einsteins. You've got a top 2 spot for now. You've been a great team. Thanks for playing. Bad luck for Kumars. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you for playing. Join me next time when another bunch of very clever people attempt to answer some more very hard questions. And finally, I leave you with this very hard question. Why do glasses make people look smarter when they've failed a test to get them? Goodbye.